So, I actually have a question before I start. Like, what would be most helpful? I can either tell you guys about what we do, but I'm not sure if that's really what's going to be helpful. What would be most helpful in what I talk about? Is it like my recommendations for what TCOE
Yes,
can
that
do?
will be more.
Okay. So I will not spend too much time on what we do. I briefly explained, I think, that we are investors.
I think others would be interested.
I'll give you a quick snippet of what we do, and then I'm happy to answer a couple of questions if there are any. So, we started about 4 years ago. So I was still in the US, and when I moved back, we started this fund in the US to invest in startups here. And we typically invest amounts that range from anywhere from 25 to 50 lakh rupees, going up to about 1.5 to 2 crores to very early stage startups where they'll typically have a product ready, some initial product ready. Team is somewhat in place, so you have at least 3, 4, 5, 6 people, and some initial traction that they have shown that this product is actually going to be useful to someone out there. Right? At that stage, we come and invest, and then try and help them scale up to a point where they can have lots of consumers or really sophisticated product and a very good team. At which point, then they can go to bigger venture capital firms like your Sequoias or Accel Partners of the world and get funding to the tune of $1 million to $10 million. We've invested about 15 startups so far. Some have gone on to raise, so for example, Savan most recently raised $100 million, has over its lifetime raised about close to 200 million now, 150, 180 million. And some startups that have raised somewhere between 10 to 20 million, and a few others that are in the process of raising their subsequent rounds. Now, as we have been in the system now for 4-5 years, and also having experienced it in the US, we, like Project was saying, there's a big gap between what the ecosystem looks like and how deep it is in the US and where it is today in India. We also have a very clear view on where the government, what role the government can play. That's what I'm going to spend most of my time after I give you this introduction. We also have come to a realization that it's not enough for us to simply keep investing because the ecosystem is not very deep and very developed, even though there's a lot of euphoria. Reality is not very developed. Hence, we as a fund, we have to spend time and effort in building the ecosystem as well. We can't just sort of sit on the outside and say, as and when I'll see which startups I'll invest. That's not enough, because then we will not end up investing too much. So we have to spend time and effort to say, okay, how can I help promote the ecosystem, much like Vikram is doing, Project is doing in its own way. We also want to do our bit there. One of the things that we, as a result, came up with was this Campus Ambassadors program, or the Campus Innovation Fund that I was mentioning. Now, which we have also discussed with the Ministry of Finance, actually, to a fair extent. Now, what the idea there is to, as we have seen, the mobile phone is becoming this major instrument of innovation and technology adoption. So today, my mother, my grandmother, they're all using the mobile phone, and that's like the one piece of technology that they are using the most. They're not using the desktop so much, they're not using XYZ other sophisticated technologies, but they're using the mobile phone, right? As is the 15-year-old school student as well as your college student. What we have realized is that the user of the mobile phone, the most sophisticated user of the mobile phone today is the college student. And not my mother or grandmother or my father or grandfather. They're using it for simple things. But the college student or the high school student is using it in a very sophisticated way. For communication, for maintaining relationships, for commerce, for studying, you name it, and they use the mobile phone. Hence we have said, given that they are the most sophisticated users of the mobile phone, they are also most likely going to be the people who come up with the innovation. With the next innovation on how to use the mobile phone to improve the lives of people in whatever way, commercially, socially, whatever. Hence, then we have said, let's focus on making more college students entrepreneurs very early on in their lives, so that then we as investors can invest in these things. Hence, we started the Campus Ambassadors program as an experiment 2 years ago. This is now the 3rd year that we're doing it. We've just selected the next round of 25 students from across different institutions. We do two things with them. One is we tell them that, listen, you be our eyes and ears for what's happening on your campuses. So you might be sitting in NIT Trichy, you might be sitting in IIT Bombay, you might be sitting in XLRI, or you might be sitting in BITS Pilani, IIT Guwahati, I don't care. You tell me what's happening on your campus. Who are the guys, who are the students who are most interested in entrepreneurship? Who are the ones who are starting to play around, experiment with startups, with new technology innovation? And we'll support them to the extent we can, not just financially. We'll connect them as Project suggested. We'll connect them early on with other investors and mentors so that they take the right direction. Second, we also then say we'll connect you guys across campuses. So it might be that an NIT Trichy guy is working on something similar to what an IIT Guwahati guy is working on. We tell them, listen, you guys connect. And maybe you guys become co-founders of your startup when you come up. Right? Or maybe the NIT Trichy guy partners with the IIM Ahmedabad management guy. So you have management and technology, and then you have someone from design. We sort of also want to bring them in. That's another goal. Third goal is to say, do not waste your time by going to Infosys or McKinsey or Goldman if you don't really want to. If you want to, great. But don't do this because you want another stamp. You've already gone to an IIT or an IIM, and I come from, I have experienced a bunch of these institutions, McKinsey and all of this, and they add a lot of value to your professional career, but at the end of the day, the sooner you get to where you really want to get to, the better it is, right? Not to say that experience doesn't help, experience always helps, but there's no point in saying, yeah, I'll spend 2 years at Infosys just to get that stamp, then I'll do my